Can Beyond Good and Evil 2 learn from The Witcher 3? The Witcher 3 has so much going for it that there would be multiple good answers to this question. Stick around if you want to see who will be featured in this video from the Reddit discussion earlier this week. But as we deal with a very specific topic today, we need to clarify one thing about the original Beyond Good and Evil. Hello, fellow Space Monkeys. This is the mildly morose man, otherwise known as Dan, or Dan the Man, whichever you fancy. I'm here to bring you another thought-provoking video on the video game Beyond Good and Evil 2. Be sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all things Beyond Good and Evil 2. Before we figure out if BGE2 can learn anything from The Witcher 3, we need to answer a question about the original. Who is the main villain in Beyond Good and Evil? Is it this guy? What about this guy?
Lost, sweetheart.
Is it these guys? Oh, wait 1 second. Hello? This is the mildly morose man. Oh, it's you. Perfect. Can I actually put you on speakerphone? Great. Okay, Space Monkeys. The main villain in Beyond Good and Evil just called. He wants to talk to you all. Here he is.
Hiya, Jade. If you're interested, I'll put a new pearl up for grabs. You'll never get this one, though. I've been practicing day and night. You ain't getting even one disc through.
That's right. Francis is the main villain here. He's the main antagonist in this story. Do you see this definition? Francis is a person who actively opposes or is hostile to us in Beyond Good and Evil. The game he makes us play is just cruel. I can't count on all my limbs how many times I've lost to this fish man. Most of the time, I have no idea why or how he beat me. I just think to myself, I can't wait until I get lucky enough to finally beat this guy. There are some things you can certainly learn to do better in the disc game, but there really isn't much skill involved in the game at all. So, what elements of The Witcher 3 will we be comparing to Beyond Good and Evil? Well, Downerbleeze commented over at the Reddit discussion and guessed that it would be covering the incredibly rich story. Thanks for joining in the conversation, Downerbleeze. So, Downerbleeze made a good guess, but as you might have figured out by now, we are going to be looking at a certain mini-game in The Witcher 3.
You play Gwent?
They say Harry's dim, but that just ain't true. Harry don't know how to plough or sew, nor catch no fishes. But he sure can play cards. So Harry plays Gwent.
So let's play.
So from what I hear, Beyond Good and Evil 2 will continue the legacy set up by Beyond Good and Evil of having some sort of minigame to play as we traverse System 3. This is one area of the Beyond Good and Evil experience that could use a major facelift. The disc game was fine in the original, but it felt like a chore to play Francis, especially a second time if you wanted to get all the pearls. The difficulty is out of this world, and it doesn't seem like there's any way to get better. The disc game and the Akuta Bar feels like a shallow minigame with an unreasonably hard difficulty. This is where Beyond Good and Evil 2 can learn from Gwent in The Witcher 3. I was actually overwhelmed by Gwent during my first playthrough of The Witcher 3. Going back to explore Gwent for the first time made me realize everything I was missing. It wasn't as hard as I thought to get into, and the strategy just makes sense. If you lose a match, you might need to get some better cards, or you might need to play the cards you do have a little better. It's all about trying to force your opponent's hand so that they waste big cards early, or you can go the route of just overwhelming your opponent's deck with powerhouse card combinations. Not only is this a great minigame within the Witcher 3 experience, it's great for the game's pacing as well. I always felt like there was so much to do when I first played The Witcher 3. Gwent offers a satisfying and relaxing gameplay experience that allows the player to take a break from questing and monster hunting. So what can Beyond Good and Evil 2 learn from The Witcher 3? We need a better minigame than that disc hockey mix-up in the original. I'd like to see something with some strategy, with a theme that fits well in the Beyond Good and Evil universe. And Gwent is successful in making the game world feel alive. It really feels like these characters are playing Gwent when we're not looking. But the disc game in Beyond Good and Evil never made me feel like Francis had anyone else to play with if we weren't there. I don't want a blatant ripoff of Gwent from The Witcher 3. I'm not even sure it has to be a card game in Beyond Good and Evil 2. What if it was something closer to chess like we see in Episode 4 of the Star Wars saga? And actually, we see Callum as playing chess with the Gata's AI, which is a neat concept, but I would like to see something a little bit more unique than just a straight ripoff of chess in the final game. So, what kind of minigame would you want to see in Beyond Good and Evil 2? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video at all, and a dislike if you didn't. Thanks again for watching, and be back for the next one if you want to stay up to date on all things Beyond Good and Evil 2.